like after the game Saturday night?
You know what? I think a lot of guys were thinking that we need to improve, that we obviously didn't execute well, and we're just trying to figure out what we need to do better.
Did you have trouble with execution because of all the combinations up front?
Well, I think there was a lot of reasons that we had execution problem. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about doing our job. We let the coaches do their job, and we focus on trying to do our job and get better at what we do. There was obviously a lack of execution, and I think we need to improve on that. I got to give Georgia State a tip of the hat. They did a very good job. They prepared well. You could tell that they executed well. They had great coaches, and they came out and beat us fair and square, and they did a good job, and I really take my hat off to them.
I imagine you can't help but hear the criticism coming from the outside and stuff. Do you try to block that out? Do you use it as motivation, or how do you kind of absorb that?
You got to take it day by day, and that's been my motto. I've told people that from the beginning. You got to take it day by day, one day at a time, one play at a time, and you can't focus on the outside stuff. You got to focus on doing your job, doing your play in the next game. We're focused on BYU, and that's what we're going to do. We're not looking in the past. We're not looking to the future. We're focused on the now and the present and doing the best that we can and doing everything we can do to beat BYU.
How tough is it to keep that focus and just try to keep in mind that this is just one game, there's still a whole season played and that type of thing, when everybody else, when there's kind of a sky is falling mentality, maybe around campus and stuff like that?
You know what? You really can't focus on external factors, and like I said, you can't focus on the past. I'm an offensive lineman, so you gotta take it one play at a time, and it's a lock and clear mentality, and that's the way I've treated it my entire life, playing offensive line, and that's something that you got to do in life anyway. You know, bad things happen, whether that's in football or life, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the road. It's one game, we're moving on, and we're focused on the now and the present. And I think that's the vibe in the locker room. And I think we got a lot of guys excited about this week, and I think we got a lot of guys that are preparing really hard for this week. And so that's the important thing.
Ryan, would you describe the locker room as angry, mad, disappointed, business-like? I mean, what's Sunday and Monday like? Talking to your teammates, and watching film and those things. What's the emotions to get ready for this week?
I think the locker room is prepared. They're locked in. They're doing a good job preparing. We had a good practice yesterday, and I think the guys are really locking in and focused on trying to do the best that they can, game planning and preparing for BYU. We've got a lot of guys that are stepping up, and some of the older guys, myself included, are trying to push the younger guys and the other guys on the team, and we're trying to make sure that everybody does their part and does their best, and we're just trying to make sure that we get the best out of this team.
What's been sort of the message from the older guys to the younger guys?
Just do your job. Do your job. It's nothing special. If you execute, you do your job. That's the most important thing that you got to do. You don't need to focus on everything else. You just need to focus on this play and executing this play and doing your job this play. And that's really the message that we've been trying to preach to some of the younger guys is let everything else take care of itself. Don't worry about the coaching. Don't worry about the fans because we've got great fans. We really do, and they support us really well. And so that's not going to be a problem. Neyland will be filled up, and they're going to be really excited. And so players don't need to worry about that. They don't need to worry about the coaching. They just need to worry about executing their job to the best of their ability. And I think we've done a great job at that. And I think we're really prepared, and we're looking for a good practice today to keep getting prepared.
How would you kind of describe the environment when you guys have been with the coaches since the game?
The coaches are trying to get us better. The coaches are trying to prepare us for BYU, and they're really focused on getting us to the next step and making sure that we execute and we do our job, and we're just locked in and focused for BYU, trying to help us figure out some things that we can improve on, and just really overall just trying to get a game plan for BYU.
You keep talking about how this team is focused on BYU, focused on the next game. You get the sense that this team is maybe using what happened last week maybe as motivation or to fuel you guys this week to say, hey, we can't play like that again. We can't let that happen again.
Well, definitely. Everything in the past is motivation. And you always have to use the past and learn from the past. And it's important to learn the past. I'm a big fan of history. My girlfriend gives me a hard time that sometimes I'll be sitting there watching World War II in color, and she's like, I'm falling asleep, And or I'm watching a documentary or something. But I really do. I enjoy history because you can learn a lot from history. And you don't want to repeat the past, but you can also take things from the past and learn for the future, whether it's good or bad. And so I think, that being said, I think we can learn a lot of things from Georgia State. But it's important to remember, and not just in football, but in life, you got to focus on what's up next. You got to focus on the present, because if you keep dwelling in the past, then you're going to repeat the past. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to learn from the past, lock and clear, and do our job to prepare for this game, the present, and do our job today at practice and take it one play at a time. And that's all we can do. And I think the guys have got a great mentality and a great mindset to do that.
For you specifically, Ryan, what do you learn from last week? What do you take away from last week to help you? I mean, I understand that, it's do your job every time, but what do you specifically take away from last week for your game for this week?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's some things I can improve on. I think I played all right. I think there's some things that I can improve on. But really what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to help everybody else. I've been in positions before like this. I've been here. This is my 4th year, so I've seen a lot. And so really what I'm trying to do is help the other guys stay steady, stay calm, and just do their job, because the game of football is an ebb and flow. There's ups, there's downs, and the guys that can stay right here through all of that, the highs and the lows, and they can just stay right in the middle, are the guys that will be successful. And so I'm just trying to help the guys do the best that they can do and just keep pushing forward. And I think a lot of guys have been following some of the seniors and following the older guys and making sure that they're doing the things that they can do to improve. And so I think that's the most important thing to take away from that, is just learn from it but move on.
As you guys reviewed your performance as an offensive line, what bugged you from Saturday as a group?
Well, going back to execution, I think there was just some execution things that needed to be done, but that was just in general. I think the program we need to execute better. And like I said, I got to give credit to Georgia State. They did a good job and they game planned well. And I think we just need to come out this weekend. We need to execute better, and we need to do our job, and we just need to focus on our job. I don't worry about what we need to do, what we did bad. I just let the coaches tell us what we need to do, and that's their job.
What were the things you felt like you guys didn't execute well?
I think there's a bunch of different things that we need to improve on. And again, that's the coach's job to worry about that. I think we just need to prepare for BYU and let the coaches lead us in the direction that they need to lead us, and they're doing a great job. They're doing a great job helping us improve. Coach Friend, Coach Cheney, Coach Pruitt have all been very helpful and been very encouraging, and helping us be the best players that we possibly can be.
BYU's coming off a pretty disappointing performance against its arch rival. What does that do for the stakes of this game when you have two teams kind of wanting to erase what happened a week ago?
Can you repeat that question?
BYU's coming off a pretty disappointing performance as well, losing to Utah big. I mean, what does it do for the stakes in this game when you have two teams kind of coming off tough losses like this?
We don't try to focus on that. We really just try to focus on doing our job. The game of football is about you. It's about your team. And a wise man once told me, when you're preparing for a football game, you should be preparing for yourself. And what I mean by that is you should focus on you. You shouldn't focus on the other team. And not to say that you shouldn't study the other team, but you should focus on doing the best you can. You can't let external factors, you can't let other things get in the way, because in reality it's about you. It's about doing your job, and that's all you can do. You can't worry about other things. You can't worry about all the other things in life, and that's a life thing, really. I mean, you control what you can control. God's going to control everything else, and so you just have to control what you control and know that you're not the one that's in charge. You're the one that can do everything you can do, and that's all you have to do every day. You wake up and do the best that you can do, and that's enough.
Who was the